Hello students, today we are going to start with our first chapter, that is operating system. We are going to discuss various parts of operating system, how it is being used, what are the examples of operating system and what is the purpose of operating system. So let's start. Operating system is the most important program that run on a computer, or you can say operating system is the interface between the computer and the user. Without it you cannot communicate with the computer directly. So the medium or the mediator that used to communicate with the computer is the operating system. You cannot use the hardware of the computer until and unless you are not being using the operating system. The operating system defines how to use that hardware and what is the capability of that hardware. So it is responsible for the management of and coordination of activities and the sharing of the resources of the computer, and the resources are the hardwares, just like the RAM, ROM, hard disk. All these are the hardwares. Now, how to operate these hardwares, how to share these resources, how to manage them, that all being controlled by the operating system. So let's see the basic diagram of operating system. See, user, then there is application, operating system, and the hardware. So application is the, just like if you visit a railway platform, you can see the ticket counter. From ticket counter you take the ticket and go to the specific platform. Now on that platform the train comes and went you just went on to the train to your destination. In the similar manner, the operating system, the application is for running a specific task. Suppose you want to run the music, if you want to play music on your system. Now for that, in the similar manner, in the operating system, what you require, that application is used for a specific task. Just as we were talking, that if you want to run a media player, if you want to play a media file on your system, then what you have to do, you just open up that file in that specific application, in that specific video player or audio player. For that audio player or media player is being installed in that operating system, and that operating system is being installed in the hardware, and that manages how to use that hardware, what how much RAM is being provided to that media player, which if speakers are needed, then speakers are being provided to that media players to give out the volume. So that is operating system manage whatever the instructions you have provided to the computer, how to execute them, how to run them so that you can get the desired output. Now see, operating system has applications, disk driver, mouse, printer, keyboards, monitor. All these resources are being controlled by the operating system. Now the types of operating system. We have various different types of operating system: real-time, multi-users versus single users, multitasking versus single tasking, distributed, embedded. Then further in your books you will go through that there are different kind of operating system, that is command based and graphical based. So that all are the types of operating system. So let us discuss them one by one. First one, real time. The real time operating system is a multitasking operating system that aims at executing real time applications. It means whatever the instructions is given, they will react instantly. They will not, there will be sometimes when you run an application on a system, it will take some time. But on the real time system, there will be no delay to give the output. Just like in your body, when intense beam of light, when a torch light is being placed in front of your eyes, automatically your eyes will be closed. So that reaction is instant reaction that your eyes will provide. In the similar fashion, in a computer system, this operating system, that whatever the instruction provided by the user, they will react on that instruction directly, instantaneously. That are called as real-time operating system, and real-time operating systems are being used in the airplane, so that to maintain the air pressure and the oxygen level, and if there is any difference, if somehow the instruction provided the user that air pressure and then oxygen level is being not being controlled by the real-time user, then what will happen? Then either the air pressure will decrease or the oxygen level will decrease, and that will be the reason for the accident. So that's why real-time systems are being used. Then multi-user versus single users. A multi-user operating system allows multiple users to access a computer system simultaneously. That is just like when you use Google. So what will happen? You are using the computer of Google from your system. That's why they are called as multiple users. Single user operating system, you can use only one person can be used. Just like the system at your home, you can use you can only use that system, but that the system that is being used by the Google, everyone is being using that system from their home. So that is multi-users versus single user operating system. Multitasking versus single tasking, it means to execute multiple instructions at a time, that is multitasking, and to execute one instruction at a time, that is single tasking. Distributed operating system, it means the information that is being stored in that operating system is being divided into some sections. Just like class 7 is one, but the sections are being divided into two sections, section A and section B. So same manner, whatever the information is being stored on a system, that is being distributed, that is being divided into the blocks, and that those blocks were being communicated with each other with the help of network, that is called as distributed system. The most common example of distributed system is ATM machines that you are being used. Then embedded operating system, these are basically used to design your processors, the CPU. Then the functions of operating system, what are the main functions of operating system? Resource management, data management, job management, standard means of communication between user and. Now resource management, what is resource management? Whatever the hardware is connected, what are the components connected to the computer system, that are being managed by the operating system, how the resources are being used, how to manage them in the proper way, which resource is being provided to which task or which instruction, that all being controlled by the operating system. Whatever the data stored on that computer system, that is also being monitored by the operating system. Job management, jobs in the terms of computer language we call instructions as a job. And then the communication between user and computer, whatever the communication that is being done with the computer and the user is being done with the help of operating system, as we discussed in the starting of this chapter, that operating system is the interface that is being used to communicate with the user and system. Then resource management. The resource management function of an operating system allows computer resources such as CPU time, main memory, storage, input and output devices how to manage them. Data management. What is the data that is being inserted, or whatever the data that is being saved on your computer system that is being handled by the operating system. Suppose you want to copy some data from C drive to D drive, so that is being done with the help of operating system only. So organizing the data in a specific manner, that is done with the help of operating system. Job management. It controls whatever the instruction provided by the user, which instruction is most important, which instruction has to run first. The priority level of the instruction is being set by the operating system, that is called as job management. Then this one we have already discussed, that the communication between the user and computer is being done with the help of operating system only. If there is no operating system, then you're not being able to communicate with your hardware, that is your computer system. You cannot communicate with your computer system without the help of operating system. Then user interface. What is a user interface? A program that controls a display for the users. What is going to be displayed on your system, how smooth it is running, how efficiently the instructions provided by the you is being executed by the computer, and what are the output of that instructions, that all being displayed on the user interface. Now, user interface is allowing the user to manipulate the system by providing the inputs. If you are providing some inputs, just like when you write down something in your file with the help of keyboard, then what you are doing, you are manipulating that file. Suppose the file is empty, then you have written something on it, so it means you have changed that file, so that is called manipulation. Changing something is called manipulation. Output. So whatever the instruction provided you, whatever the input provided by you is being affected on the execution of that instruction is been done, and whatever the effect of that is comes in the term of output. Types of user interface. There are two types of user interface: command line interface and graphical user interface. Command line interface. What is command line interface? Command line interface are in which you provide some instruction with the help of keyboards. You can previously, when there were no mouses, the batch processing systems, they were using the command line interface. You have to just provide some commands and they have to execute according to that command. There will be no icons and no mouse were there at that time. So command line interface is a mechanism for interacting with the computer, operating or software by typing commands to perform specific tasks. So if you are a beginner in the computer field, if you are learning the computer, then the command line is not suitable for you, because that is very typical thing to do with the computer. You have to remember so many commands. What is the command for copy, what is command for cut, what is command to move some file from one place to another place, what is the command to rename. So all that we are doing with the help of only one mouse click, but earlier it was done with the help of commands, so that's why they are called as command line interface. This is the example of command line interface, in which you can see there is no icon. You have to write down the whole command, that is ps/d/ or name of the file, then greater symbol, then the directory in which directory that file is being stored, and what is the name of that file with the extension name. all that you have to write down, then only that file is being copied. So that is very typical thing. So the beginners to the computer field is not being capable to understand this language. Next, command examples of the commands directory, that is to display the list of files or the folders, what are the folders and what are the files installed in that system, that is with the help of directory dir command. Copy, to copy the file, make a new folder, you have to write down md. Cls to clear the screen. Quit is to close that interface. Then is graphical user interface, by clicking some, with the help of pointing device or clicking some images, we can directly do execute the instructions. That is called as graphical user interface. So what are the elements of graphical user interface? Pointer, icon, desktop, windows and menus. These are the components of graphical user interface. Pointers, this one, the symbol that appears on the display screen, and that you can move to select object and commands. Icons, the small picture that represent commands, files or windows, that is called as icon. Desktop, the area on the display screen where icons are grouped, that is called as desktop. Windows used to divide a screen into different areas. When the screen is divided into different area, that is called as windows. This one, there are two windows, two different programs are running, that is called two different windows. Then the menus to select down, to check out what are the commands we have, list of the commands and which command you want to run. Like this is user interface. Now this is menu, file menu. The file menu, we have commands: new, open, if you want to create a new file, if you want to open, if you want to the recent files, if you want to close, if you want to save. All these are the commands and we have to select from this. And types of user interface, that is command based and user interface. There's a basic difference according to the use of keys and control. Some basic differences are given here. So example of operating systems are Microsoft, DOS, Windows, Macintosh, Linux, Solaris, Android. Now let's see how they look. This is the symbol of Microsoft DOS, disk operating system, and this is basically the command line interface. See this one is Microsoft disk operating system, that is command line interface. Then from command line interface, Windows are being used, Microsoft Windows. These were the graphical user interface. See, this is graphical user interface. This is Windows 8. Then Macintosh, Mac operating systems. This is graphical user interface of Mac operating system. Linux, this is the interface of Linux. Android phones, this is the interface of Android operating system that is being used in your mobiles. Solaris, it was developed by the Sun Microsystems. See, this is the basic interface of Solaris. So that's all about operating systems and what are the uses. Doubts you can in your comment section.